15. Teflon. In 1938, Roy Plunkett, a researcher at DuPont, was experimenting with gases related to refrigerants when one of his cylinders suddenly stopped releasing gas. Opening the cylinder, he found a waxy white substance inside. When he examined it, he discovered that the substance was incredibly slippery, heat-resistant, and non-reactive. This unexpected material was the birth of Teflon, the non-stick coating discovered at DuPont, which would later revolutionize cookware. Today, Teflon is used in everything from frying pans to space exploration, all thanks to an accidental encounter with an inert gas. 14. Matches. In 1826, English chemist John Walker was experimenting in his workshop, searching for a more practical way to start fires. At the time, people relied on flint and steel, a slow and unreliable method. One day, while scraping a wooden stick coated with a chemical mixture, a sudden flame appeared. Walker was astonished. The friction had unexpectedly caused the chemicals to ignite. This accidental discovery marked the birth of the modern match. Although Walker recognized its potential, he never patented his invention. Still, word spread quickly, and matches soon replaced older fire-starting methods, becoming one of history's most practical discoveries. 13. X-ray rays. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen was working on cathode rays when he noticed something unusual. A fluorescent screen across the room began to glow, even though the cathode ray tube wasn't pointed at it. This unexpected discovery led him to further investigate, and he realized that he had found a new type of radiation, which he called X-rays. Although it started with an unexpected observation, Röntgen's curiosity and systematic research led to this groundbreaking discovery, which revolutionized medicine by allowing doctors to see inside the human body without surgery, earning him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901. 12. Oxygen. In the late 1700s, English chemist Joseph Priestley was experimenting with various gases when he heated mercuric oxide, releasing a gas that made a flame burn brighter. Priestley realized that this gas was essential for combustion and respiration. Though he didn't know it at the time, Priestley had discovered oxygen. Later, French chemist Antoine Lavoisier recognized oxygen's role in combustion, respiration, and rusting, which helped establish the modern understanding of chemistry and biology. Priestley's unintentional discovery of oxygen paved the way for countless scientific advancements. 11. Insulin. In 1921, Canadian scientists Frederick Banting and Charles Best were studying the pancreas and its role in digestion. One day, Banting noticed that when they removed the pancreas from dogs, the animals developed diabetes. They realized that the pancreas produced a substance essential for regulating blood sugar. Through a series of experiments, they isolated insulin, which could regulate blood sugar levels in diabetics. This accidental discovery led to the development of insulin therapy, transforming the treatment of diabetes and saving millions of lives worldwide. 10. Vulcanized rubber. In 1839, Charles Goodyear was struggling to find a way to make rubber more durable, as it was prone to melting in hot weather and becoming brittle in the cold. One day, after months of experiments, Goodyear accidentally dropped a mixture of rubber and sulfur onto a hot stove. To his surprise, the rubber didn't melt, but instead became stronger and more elastic. This happy accident led to the invention of vulcanized rubber, a revolutionary material that would go on to be used in everything from tires to waterproof clothing, forever changing the manufacturing world. 9. Carbon dioxide. Imagine a scientist heating a simple substance in a laboratory, only to accidentally discover a gas that would later become fundamental to our understanding of life and the environment. That's exactly what happened in 1754 when Joseph Black, a curious Scottish chemist, was experimenting with carbonates. As he heated one of them, a mysterious gas escaped, and though Black didn't know it at the time, he had just discovered carbon dioxide. This unintentional revelation eventually unveiled the secrets of respiration, the carbon cycle, and the environmental challenges we face today. What began as an unexpected result became one of the most important findings in chemistry and science as a whole. 8. Penicillin. In 1928, bacteriologist Alexander Fleming was working in his messy laboratory, researching the influenza virus, when he noticed something strange in a petri dish of bacteria he had left uncovered. A mold had grown in it, and surrounding the mold, the bacteria had been destroyed. Upon closer inspection, Fleming identified the mold as Penicillium notatum, and soon realized that it produced a substance that could kill bacteria. This accidental discovery led to the development of penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, saving millions of lives and transforming the field of medicine forever. 7. Microwave oven. Percy Spencer's discovery of the microwave oven is an amusing tale of serendipity. While testing radar systems during World War II, he noticed the chocolate bar in his pocket melting unusually fast. Curious, he conducted further experiments and found that microwaves could heat food rapidly by agitating water molecules. By 1947, the first commercial microwave was introduced, revolutionizing how we cook and reheat food. What started as an accident became a staple in modern kitchens, saving time and effort for millions worldwide. 6. Chewing gum. In the 1800s, Mexican leader Santa Anna sent a shipment of chicle to inventor Thomas Adams, hoping he could use it to create a rubber substitute. Adams failed in this attempt, but during his frustration, he chewed a piece of chicle and noticed its pleasant elasticity and flavor. This led him to flavor the gum and sell it, sparking the creation of chewing gum as we know it today. What started as a failed experiment ended up being a worldwide industry, all thanks to a little accident and a lot of curiosity. 5. Radioactivity. In 1896, French physicist Henri Becquerel was investigating whether sunlight could make uranium salts leave marks on photographic plates. However, during one of his experiments, the weather was cloudy, so he stored the plates in a drawer, planning to continue later. A few days later, when he developed the plates, he was shocked to find darkened images, even though they had not been exposed to sunlight. This unexpected discovery proved that uranium emitted radiation on its own, leading to the discovery of radioactivity. Later, Marie and Pierre Curie expanded on this groundbreaking finding, revolutionizing science and medicine. 4. Saccharin. In 1879, chemist Konstantin Fahlberg was working with coal tar derivatives when he accidentally spilled a substance on his hand. Later that evening, he noticed an unusually sweet taste while eating bread. Realizing that the sweetness came from the chemical on his hand, Fahlberg investigated further and identified saccharin, the first artificial sweetener. Saccharin became widely used in the food industry, offering a sugar substitute for those who couldn't consume sugar, especially diabetics. What began as a simple mistake led to an entire industry of artificial sweeteners, changing the way people consume sugar and impacting global health. 3. Velcro. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral went for a walk in the woods with his dog and noticed burrs sticking to his clothes and the dog's fur. Intrigued, he examined the burrs under a microscope and discovered that they had tiny hooks that latched onto loops of fabric or fur. This natural mechanism inspired him to create Velcro, a hook and loop fastener that is now used in everything from clothing to shoes and spacesuits. What started as a curious observation in nature led to one of the most commonly used fastening systems in the world. 2. Buoyancy. The discovery of buoyancy was directly linked to Archimedes' task of determining if a crown made for King Hiero of Syracuse was made of pure gold. Archimedes struggled to find a way to test the crown without damaging it. One day, while taking a bath, he noticed the water level rise as he entered the tub. This observation led him to realize that objects displaced an amount of water equal to their volume, which created an upward force. Archimedes famously shouted, "Eureka!" and rushed to share his discovery. This insight helped him determine the authenticity of the crown by comparing the amount of water displaced by a piece of it. Thus, he discovered buoyancy and laid the foundation for the Archimedes principle, a fundamental concept in fluid mechanics. 1. Bakelite. In 1907, Belgian chemist Leo Baekeland was searching for a synthetic alternative to shellac, a material used for electrical insulation. During one of his experiments, he heated and pressed chemicals together, expecting to create a useful resin. Instead, he stumbled upon something entirely new, a hard, durable, and heat-resistant material that could be easily molded into any shape. Realizing its potential, Baekeland named it Bakelite, making history as the inventor of the world's first fully synthetic plastic. Used in everything from electrical components to household goods, Bakelite revolutionized manufacturing and laid the foundation for the modern plastics industry. A fortunate accident turned into a discovery that changed the world forever.